Hello and welcome to Upbeat Consult, where we make it easy for you. I'm delighted that you are continuing the CV Writing and Interview Skills course. This is the second part. Please enjoy your learning time and all the best.
It is very important, when you start preparing to write your CV, is to identify your competencies and skills. So, in the coming part, we'll show you how to do it.
We will start with a very important concept in preparing your CV, and that is the definition of what is called competency. A competency can be defined as that which you know as a result of your education and training. It reflects content and knowledge. Competencies might include a specific body of knowledge, for example, pharmaceutical science, accounting, communication, economics, humanities, language, etc.
Skills is the second important concept in preparing your CV. So, what do we mean by skills? They reflect what you do with what you know, or the degree to which you perform a competency, a technique, or a craft. For example, with your competency in the English language, you can write reports, speak the language, translate the language to Arabic. Another example of competency is marketing knowledge. With this, you can do marketing plans, marketing research, and marketing analysis. Now, I am sure you understand what skills mean, since all the mentioned above are called skills.
On the other hand, the ability to use one's skills in a given context is called the application of a skill. For instance, someone who has majored in languages might be able to use his or her language skills to interpret at an international conference. For example, if part of my formal study included a pharmacology course, then I have the ability to discuss different drugs' indications and side effects. The application of that skill will be that I can provide drug information to patients when needed in pharmacy settings. As illustrated in the previous slide, this is an exercise to help you master the core step in preparing your CV. You need to identify at least 2 competencies you have and write 2 skills you can do with them, with its application. Very good. We'll be moving now to a new section, and that is CV structure for fresh and professional graduate. The major parts of a CV structure for fresh and professional graduates are the following: personal detail and statement, education, work experience, hobbies and interests, and finally, references. The first part of a CV is personal details, which include the following: name, as a heading rather than CV, website online portfolio, address, telephone number, and finally, email address. The following are not requirements, but if you wish, you can include, and that is nationality, sex, and date of birth. The second part of a CV is the personal statement. Always tailor this to the role in question. Generic introductions will not endear you to the recruiter and are a waste of valuable space. Consciously try and answer the following questions: who you are, what you can offer, what you aim for in your career. Regarding your education and qualifications, start with the most recent, and don't forget your current study. For example, mention first the course modules you've undertaken that may be relevant to a role or scheme you're applying for. In addition, you might like to mention top marks. For example, include math and English with its grade if they are high. But you don't have to put your grades on if you weren't happy with them. Include the years of study. Lastly, mention your primary school, if you are a fresh graduate, and especially if it is a distinguished school. Work experience, or employment history. Chances are, you may not have that much previous work history to include here, and if you do, it may not all be relevant. If this is the case, feel free to be brief here. After stating your dates of employment, company name, and job title, putting a few top-line duties will generally suffice. However, wherever possible, try and demonstrate your success in practical ways. Not only will they help quantify your output, they will also help validate your awareness of meeting targets and key responsibilities. This is a reference slide. It gives you examples of words that you can give from your work experience. But, if you have no paid work experience, give examples from voluntary work, or from formal or informal training or education courses you have completed. The hobbies and interests section is optional. If they're particularly individual, or actually back up your motives for applying for this role, then they should be included. Ask yourself, will they help you get the job? Socializing with friends and going to the cinema, for example, will probably be of little interest to the employer. Finally, make sure you're happy to expand upon them during your interview, if called upon. The final slide of this part is references. Ideally, one academic and your manager. Ask permission from your reference and let them know what positions you've applied for. Use relevant references if possible. You can say references available on request, rather than including contact details, if you wish. The next part of this course will show and illustrates different CV examples.